Hey guys, just finished watching Gotham, Season 5, Episode 2, Legend of the Dark Knight, Trespassers. Wow, what an interesting episode. Not as good as the first episode starting off the season. I mean, the first episode's always kind of good just to kind of get you hooked for the season, right? Not get you kind of disappointed if they had a bad first episode for the season, right? You know, and to really continue on, but, and so this episode was kind of interesting, just dealing with kind of the fallout of the first episode. We have Jim going to save the kids from that one kid that came around, and I looked it up to try and see as to when they named the kid Will Thomas, and I thought, oh my god, he could be some, from the comics and stuff, and the only person I could come up with was Duke Thomas, who is a more recent character from the comic books who ends up becoming the Signal in the comic books recently, but it doesn't really look like it's the same character whatsoever. So it's just a random name. So I guess it doesn't really go anywhere with that, at least not yet. So that was kind of interesting dealing with that. Didn't really go anywhere. It's cool dealing with seeing Gordon trying to kind of save these kids, bring some of the kids into the green zone and stuff. We see Bruce is looking for the witch and stuff, and I just wish they would have kept the secret a little bit more, but I guess I kind of saw it just with their kind of images I knew going into it that it was going to be Ivy and stuff, and of course it would be Ivy. So you see Barbara kind of just, Jim ends up going to Barbara because he has to go save the kids, but he has to go through her territory, and he needs some trucks to do that, and she just pretty much gives him the trucks and stuff, and I really don't understand it. I didn't really get as to why she did that. I mean, she doesn't really care anymore. Tabitha's gone, and she's just kind of, not really thinking straight. But also at the end of the whole thing, she just kind of really just kind of wants to team up with him with Jim Gordon with the police to kind of take down and kill Penguin and stuff, kill also Cobblepot. So that'll be interesting to see as to kind of where that relationship goes. If she's kind of just saying, yeah, take the trucks, but you're going to owe me, kind of type thing. She doesn't really say that, but it feels like she's definitely going to use that to kind of, to be with him, to kind of partner up with him, right? And I think that's kind of, she's building that kind of, that groundwork to teaming up there. We see that the GCPD ends up saving most of the kids, except for Bruce and, which end up with a few, and they're kind of on the run type thing. Their car just gets taken out in the crossfire. We see Bruce kind of teams up with Ivy to save Selena. And at first he doesn't really tell her, and she kind of betrays him and kills the guys who had her captive and stuff. So that'll be cool to see as to where things go with Poison Ivy. Hopefully she can go full on and just kind of, I'd love to see her really go all out, and just to see kind of a huge thing later on where she's kind of completely in control. I wish they would have done that a little bit more. Maybe instead of have her being captive, I think that would have been cool to see her kind of in full kind of thriving, and just kind of a live action version of pretty much like Batman and Batman and Robin. Not so corny as that one, but kind of full on in command with giant trees to control, and full powered. I think that would definitely be cool to see as to where things go with that. I'm not sure. Let me see. I think we're only going to get a few episodes this season, so I'm not sure if we're getting 20 episodes this season. Yeah, I think we're only getting like 10 episodes this season, so we'll have to wait and see as to kind of how things go for Poison Ivy and stuff. It doesn't seem like there's much. I mean, it could be interesting to see as to where things go, but I would like to have seen her kind of, maybe she takes her own territory because she has plants and stuff, and I think that would be really cool to see her kind of fighting a gang. Maybe a gang tries to come at her type thing. Even if she doesn't have a territory, but kind of doesn't want to be bothered and wants to really move freely. I think that'd be really cool just to see her kind of, oh, I want this, and just go over and kind of, like an army of guys come at her, and she kind of just kind of wipes them out with trees type thing. I think that could be really cool. It would be quite interesting seeing as to how what she could do and stuff. Could be quite fun to see her really just go all out and become a big bad. Because right now she's kind of like just a random little player here and there, but she has such the powers like to really do all kinds of stuff. So I think that really would be cool to see that. I mean, I'd love to see, obviously we won't see it on this show, but I'd love to see a Poison Ivy versus Swamp Thing, or Poison Ivy versus Swamp Thing fight would be a really cool thing to see her kind of just take over a full building or type thing, and crushing buildings with her trees or things like that could be really cool. Just kind of bigger scale things with Poison Ivy, rather than just seeing little trees move here and there. Okay, but not as interesting as seeing her really kind of she could take over Gotham if she wanted to, right? She has the tree life, right? She has the plant life, right? and she could probably, leave and just walk on, and have some plants to kind of make her way over to the other side, right, to land. She can maybe make some lily pads float up or whatever, and kind of, and just kind of walk over, right, or get some grass, or somehow make some trees connect vines over the water and connecting. That could be something interesting like that. We'll just have to wait and see, but hopefully they can really use her and have her just being, oh, look, it's Poison Ivy, that's cool, and she does little things here and there, but I'd like to see her just kind of full-on Poison Ivy, whereas right now, like I said, she's just Ivy. You see Bruce, and then we see the Riddler has like a gang member. Throughout this episode, Riddler is kind of trying to figure out what's going on. He had a beat up gang member in his bathroom type thing that he was kind of figuring out as to what's going on. What is Ed doing and stuff. And it doesn't really go anywhere to the end. That's where it kind of gets interesting. Most of the storyline throughout this episode was kind of just boring. But then at the end, we see that he went and he killed all the gang member. Or at least we assume it was Ed. Who knows though? And then it says, Penguin was here type thing. So he kind of starts framing Penguin, I'm assuming, or it could be anyone who did that. Who knows? But I assume it was Ed, and that's going to be cool to see as to what type of war does he kind of is he starting, right? I think that would be cool to see as to where I think kind of go with that. The interesting thing is I remember in the last episode we heard that Mr. Freeze has his own territory, yet we haven't seen anything about him. We haven't even seen him in this show yet, so that would be cool to see him. Maybe next episode we'll have to wait and see as to where things go with there. We see the gang start fighting over the bounty on Jim's head, and that's when Barbara shows up and kind of saves him. Selena ends up taking the plant thing that Poison Ivy gave to Bruce, and she takes it, not caring, just be kind of like, hey, I was going to kill myself, if this kills me, so be it. Let me just try. I got to do something, right? She just takes it, and it kind of changes her, and she ends up, all right, just go kind of crazy like a cat. And that's where things kind of lose me in the next episode. We see in the next episode she's going to go after Jerome. Although it looks like in the next episode, the teasing that she's going to go after Jerome, but they don't show new footage of Jerome. All they show is last season's of Jerome. And so if you've been following the actor Cameron Monaghan, if not mistaken, on Instagram and stuff, he's involved with the Shameless show, and he had I think a movie that's coming out or something like that, either online somewhere or something. But so it seems to me he probably wasn't on set the entire time of the season of filming, which is disappointing because he's such a great Jerome, and he's just a great Joker and stuff. And seeing this new version of Joker, if we only have 10 episodes, why is he not in every single episode? He's the Joker, and if this is the last season of Gotham, and he's going to become Batman, the title of this episode, the sub tagline for this season is Legend of the Dark Knight. You've got to have the Joker there. So I don't know why they're not showing the Joker. So I have a feeling because they didn't show new footage of him, unless it's he's only in it for very very briefly at the end, that Jeremiah won't be in the next episode, and we'll just see Selena trying to find him, and all she ends up finding is the Harley Quinn looking character that left the smiley face in the last episode on the map that Jim Gordon had. So I think that's going to be cool to see, and it's going to be interesting to see as to where things go with that. There is a point in the trailer where it looks like Selena kind of hisses at him like a cat, which is kind of terrible. We'll have to wait and see as to how it plays, but on the face of it, I just go, ooh, that's not a good idea. We'll have to see as to how things kind of play with that as she becomes more and more like the comic book version of the character. Obviously that's what they're trying to do with this, but definitely going to be interesting to see as to where things kind of go with that, and how things kind of get how things kind of fold out and stuff and unfold throughout the rest of this season. So it's going to be interesting to see that. Just kind of fingers crossed to see how they play it right. It wasn't kind of interesting seeing that the gang member who was the guy who was running the underground digging site, right, trying to get through there and lost all the kids that the police kind of saved from. He was really cool noticing that actor from, I'm not sure if any of you guys recognize it, but from the first season of Daredevil. He was the guy, he was a hitman that Wilson Fisk hired, and he ends up taking his own life, right? So that was really cool seeing that again. it's, noticing actors from show to show, right? It's really kind of interesting. So it's really going to be cool to see as to where things go with this with Jeremiah. Hopefully, you get to see him throughout this season in the next episode. Hopefully, it's not just at the end. Maybe they just want to keep his cool parts to maybe he has a different look or something, and that would be cool if he has a different look, and that's why he's not in the trailer. They're just keeping him a secret, right? But based on the actor's Instagram and following him and stuff, it looked like he was he's a bit busy, so I'm not sure if he would have been filming at the same time. Who knows, because this is only 10 episodes. It doesn't take up as much time, obviously, to film as like 23 episodes, so who knows, we'll have to wait and see, but I'm hoping that he's has a heavy part in this season. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. Season 5, Episode 2, Legend of the Dark Knight, Trespassers, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes subscribing is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.